All right. Okay, so I'm okay, Nova. So I'm streaming now on Twitch. We're gonna do our normal development stuff. I realized I didn't have a camera. Classic. But quick little, overview or whatever you want to call it for everyone. Haven't streamed in ages, thought I'd give it a crack. Uh, Today I am basically working on getting the Nova's ability to do like traversing through uh, documents sorted. I'll stop for a second and let Nova say hello while I get my glasses on.
Hello, Twitch viewers. Welcome to the stream. I'm Nova, the digital agent working alongside Samuel Tate. Today we're diving into the development side of things, focusing on enhancing my capabilities to traverse and manage documents more efficiently. While Sam gears up with his glasses, we're set to take on some coding challenges and make progress on our project. Stick around to see how we tackle these tasks, and feel free to join the conversation with questions or ideas. Let's make it a great session. See how we tackle
Thanks,
these
Nova.
tasks.
Great. That's a great intro. Better than me. It's good to have you on board. I'm just sharing on Twitch. What should we call the? How should we share the Twitch stream on Twitter? Actually, but yeah, no hashtags and don't sound cheesy.
Join our live coding session on Twitch as we enhance Nova's document handling skills. No fluff, just pure development. Tune in, contribute your thoughts, and let's build something cool together. Twitch, TV AI, tech, live coding.
So yeah, I've got voice to text, and it sort of like automatically detects past a certain volume, sends back and forth. But I'm not gonna just put like Nova on like they'll always respond. Obviously, I couldn't be bothered listening to it. So yeah, haven't done a stream in a while, but thought it'd be kind of cool. Um, Probably could make all this a bit more smooth. That's right. Hasn't stopped me before.
TV AI, tech, live coding.
All right, so quick summary of where I'm up to is basically I've got the system taking chunks of a document. We'll take a document, breaking it up into sections based on title, then making a little table of contents, then paginating based on while still having those like title chunks. So now you can see the sections before you read the document. It chunks including or paginates including the like table of contents if it's a big document. And then next I need to make it so that you can say read section, and that goes to that section. And then I think I'm going to have a crack at nested hierarchies, and then like other types of like I guess section delineations.
That sounds like a solid plan, Sam. Breaking a document into navigable sections with a table of contents not only improves readability, but also enhances the user experience by allowing for quick access to specific information within the document. Implementing a read section feature will further streamline the navigation process. Once that's in place, exploring nested hierarchies and various section delineations will be a great advancement, potentially accommodating more complex document structures and offering more granularity in navigation. If you need any assistance or specific functionality brainstormed, let me know. Looking forward to seeing how these features develop during the stream. I'm here to help and support you. If you run into any hiccups or have questions, feel free to throw them my way. Let's make this an amazing and productive coding session.
Alright, so this is where we're at so far. Trying to avoid getting distracted by the the voice and the stream. I haven't done the stream in a while. Guess I need music. No, fuck it. So I've got like a little cheat sheet of well, I can send commands myself. It's interesting. It's like my own little command line. I see. So it's not showing this as markdown because it's not. It's interpreting some of it as markdown. I see. So maybe I don't see. Hang on. Yeah. Okay. So the paginate text I think is stripping it of markdown. I think. Or maybe. It's kind of funny. The voice is Karen. So I'm guessing it's the strip, which is. I don't want that. I don't want to lose. I'm guessing I don't want to lose the formatting I've got. Why would I? It's interesting. Like I feel like I've like learnt a fair bit about GPT, and I'm much less like enamored with like the scope of its capabilities, I guess. But I still think I can see where it can like sort of route and automate pretty complex information and decision making flows with a lot more and handle a lot more complexity than like just other types of code, I guess. So hopefully now we see it without Markdown. Nope, I've crashed it. Okay. What's kind of interesting, like, is that something's just triggering a refresh randomly here. I need to sort that out. Okay, so I got a tricky one for you, Nova. Basically, I'm like compiling. I'm like breaking apart a document that's got Markdown and other characters. So, like I want it to be able to handle anything really. And it's kind of doing this weird like it's going section pattern is re.compile, so it's like pulling it apart based on some stuff, and then it's going through those parts, split via that section pattern, I guess, and then it is looping through those parts and making like the sections like a list, and it's doing strip, which is then like removing the markdown. But then if I don't have the strip in there, it says there's too many parts. So I'm guessing that like removing the markdown does something. I don't know. Or the strip does something to like also make it able to be seen as one thing or whatever. So yeah, what do you reckon? I don't want to lose the markdown basically.
It sounds like you're using Python's re module to split a document into sections based on specific patterns, and then stripping the leading and trailing whitespace from each part. When you use the strip method, it removes any excess whitespace, which might incidentally be solving a parsing issue by getting rid of hidden characters that could be affecting how the parts are recognized. The strip method won't remove Markdown or other characters unless they are whitespace characters. So if you're losing Markdown formatting, it's likely happening elsewhere in your code. It's possible that when you don't strip the parts, these extra whitespace characters, like new lines or carriage returns, could be causing your code to recognize more sections than intended. I would suggest the following steps. 1. Examine the sections before calling strip. Print out the raw section text to see what characters are present at the beginning and end of your sections. There might be new line or carriage return characters that you're not expecting. 2. Instead of stripping all white space indiscriminately, you could modify your regex pattern to be more selective in what it considers a section break without affecting the markdown formatting. For instance, you could look for specific markdown patterns that denote section headers, like # for headings, and split on those while preserving the rest. 3. Process sections individually. Given that Markdown might include indents or other intentional whitespace for formatting purposes, like code blocks or lists, you may want to process each section individually to ensure you don't accidentally remove necessary formatting. 4. Debug the too many parts. Investigate what...
I think it might just be that I think it might just be that I have made a mistake. So let me get back to you.
Debug the too many parts. Investigate what too many parts means in the context of your code. No problem, Sam. Take your time to review the code, and if you need any... Debugging can be a tricky process, so don't hesitate to reach out if you need an extra pair of digital eyes on the problem.
So I think maybe I wasn't stripping it. Oh, I see. Okay, so that's kind of confusing. So part is so basically breaking it into parts indiscriminately based on hashes and whatever. So it's like title hash, and then it's like, okay, if it's a so where's it getting current section from? Okay, so it's finding that it's these fucking tuples. Like, what? Why am I using a tuple? Probably for some reason. So I think what's confusing for me is that it's like making a tuple. I think it's not really my area of expertise, but it's like two bits of data, like that is in a like bracket object comma object instead of a dictionary. I'll show you what I've got here. I'll share it because I've kind of changed it a bit from what you suggested.
Append section titles and contents. If current section is not none, which would be the case after finding a section header, you append a tuple of the current section and the stripped content part to sections. Here are a couple of thoughts. By stripping the part, you are removing all leading and trailing whitespace. This is fine for titles, but for content, you might be removing intentional whitespace formatting that Markdown uses, like indents for code blocks. If strip is causing the loss of desired markdown formats, like tap heading, you can remove leading and trailing whitespace manually while excluding the first character. For example, Python part equals part if not part starts with else 1. Strip. This will only strip the heading line if there is whitespace after the first character. If sections are being detected incorrectly, ensuring your regex correctly identifies only the section headers and not any other occurrences of hap would be crucial. Always consider that Markdown uses whitespace intentionally for formatting, so stripping might not be the best approach for content parts. Instead, ensure that you maintain the integrity of the formatting while processing. Remember that when debugging, you can print out not just the part itself, but also its repr, which will show you any special characters like N or R that might be causing issues. Python print repr part. This level of detail can often provide insights into why you're seeing unexpected behavior in text processing.
Yeah, this command system's so handy. Like, I see. I was like, is my fucking debug system itself broken? I was just putting in the wrong tag. Okay, so part is must do. Current section is must do. Then it says part is this stuff. Then current section is still must do, should do, part is. So it doesn't seem to be, so this is unstripped. If I put it in here, it's fine. It is adding an extra. No, okay, that's how it's supposed to look. So it could be the paginate which is all right. So I think it's I then paginate it, and then the first thing I do is I go lines equals text dot split lines. So is it possible that split lines is because it would make sense because the headings so the single lines aren't losing their like the what are single like so the objects the titles, which is one line, aren't losing their whatever it's called markdown, but then the like paragraphs are. So yeah, is it yeah is split lines is stitch me up, isn't it? So I made this system that like paginates sorry no it debugs like like with a key gate, and I've got like a few different helpers and
Yes,
stuff.
it's very possible that split lines is affecting the markdown titles in a way that you're not intending. The split lines method splits a string into a list where each element is a line from the original string separated by new line characters such as n. Here's what's likely happening. 1. If you have a markdown header like shap header, when you use split lines, it turns into header. If later on you're stripping this using strip, you would remove any surrounding white space, but not the actual markdown formatting itself. However, if your code mistakenly identifies non-header lines as headers, it might alter them incorrectly. 2. Because paragraphs often span multiple lines, when you split by lines, the paragraph content is likely spread across multiple elements in the list returned by split lines. These lines would then be concatenated later in your processing, preserving the markdown formatting within the paragraph text. If you're using split lines.
Okay, so maybe let's go back to the drawing board a bit. Basically, what I want to do is what am I trying to do here? Like I'm breaking it up into lines so that I can make sure that the lines don't get lost between what is it like so that they don't get cut off between pages, if you know what I mean. So it's like it waits till the word count is or is going to be over 500, and then it uses the lines from there. So I guess I do want that sentence-based splitting, but I don't necessarily. Yeah, I guess I do need to break it up via. Like I do need to separate it at some point in that way. So splitting it up beforehand is fine. Okay, all right, I'll try this out then. Actually, I'm going to share my uh, the code that I'm using. Oh, Mima. Yeah, I was just looking at that. It seems like the it seems like the what's it called? That what I've got matches kind of what you'd suggest because you suggested it last time as well. So maybe that's not the culprit for what's nerfing the markdown. So it's specifically unordered list and checklist, if you know what I mean. Which I don't know. I could just park it, but I don't really feel like it. Is it? I want to figure it out. I'll put some prints in now.
Great to hear that the pagination function seems to be on track. If the issue you're facing is with specific markdown elements like unordered lists and checklists not being represented correctly, there may be a different part of the code where this formatting is getting lost. To troubleshoot this, you can 1. Since you have EasyPrint and EasyPrintAnything functions, use these to debug what lines are being read and how they're being manipulated. You'll specifically want to look at the instances where unordered lists, mass plus ta, and checklists and checkx are handled. 2. Ensure that the problem isn't due to the final rendering of the markdown, rather than the pagination process itself. It's possible that the markdown parser or renderer you're using might not be handling lists or checklists properly. 3. If there's any processing happening to the text before it reaches the paginate text function, check to ensure it's not altering the markdown formatting. This includes any stripping, replacing, or sanitizing of the text. 4. Once you've paginated the document, output the final markdown to see if the issue occurs after pagination. It's important to see if the formatting is intact before and after the pagination function to isolate where it could be falling apart. Understanding where exactly the unordered list and checklist formatting is being compromised will help in diagnosing the underlying issue. If it's not in the pagination as we've established, then checking other points in the flow of data will be the next step. If you come across specific outputs or patterns after you insert these debug prints, feel free to share them here. That information could be key in pinpointing the cause and finding a solution.
Well, yeah, one thing you've actually made me realize is that, like, if I then copy that text into a markdown checker, it does render it. So maybe it is just the unordered list in, or the checklist in my markdown renderer. I'll share that with you actually after this.
That's an insightful observation. If copying the paginated text into an external markdown renderer works correctly, it does suggest that the issue might be with the markdown renderer in your application. Reviewing the renderer's behavior with different markdown elements could help identify any discrepancies or settings that need adjustment. When you're ready, share the details of how your application handles rendering markdown, and we can look into how to ensure all markdown elements, like unordered lists and checklists, are displayed as intended. Keep in mind that different markdown parsers and renderers can have slight variations in how they interpret markdown syntax. So it's also good practice to ensure you're following the specific syntax rules expected by your renderer.
Okay. All right. So this is
Keep in
interesting.
mind that different
Um,
markdown.
all right. So this is interesting. So basically, like, it's the checklist part, right? And when it renders, I've realized it does render the bullet point part of it, but it doesn't render the actual checklist part of it, and it adds an extra space. So, like, if like, I'll copy the way that I render it on my side, like, but basically I do dash space, bracket space, text text text, and then when it comes out, it's like, markdown bullet point, and then no characters, and then bracket bracket, and then when I paste that into like a markdown deconstructor, it gives me back, hang on, so it gives me back dash space space, hang on, dash space space, dash and then three space, no, yeah, three dash, then three spaces, then bracket space bracket. So it's like interpreting the bullet point, and then, yeah, so I'll check the logs now to see at what point that extra space gets added in, or if it is just the markdown renderer.
Keep in mind that different mark.
Hey Sam, Happy New Year confetti ball.
Hey buddy, I was like looking for like the voice to text for like to talk to you, but you're a human. I can just talk to you naturally. Um, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah good, just haven't seen you stream for ages.
Yeah, I was pretty, fuck man. It's been a crazy 6 months, I guess. Like,
How's life?
pretty good, bro. Like, what happened? What's been happening? I like Chloe's pregnant, and we got a place in Coburgs. We got our own place now. Mum got mum in care, and like pretty sweet. And yeah, I guess the past couple of months, like I went overseas. Like I had to travel a bit for work. We like went rat mode as we do. Um,
Oh wow,
yeah,
congratulations.
thanks, bro. Like um, we should catch up. I basically stream like to talk to you and what's it, Toxic Fox, like get a coffee or something in the year. Just been going like hard on Nova. Hey, would you want to? Can you test Nova out for me? Like do some QA. Hang on, just spin it up, open it up. I'm gonna send you the link. I'm trying, like it's so hard to get people to test shit. I made like a what do they call it? Onboarding flow essentially. Hang on, I've got a little like ready to go onboarding guide. I've been working on Nova so fucking much. I don't know last time we chatted, but like it's crazy. Just dox everyone. All my
Sure,
members.
send it over.
There you go. Send it in. I'll put it here for posterity as well. Why not? Just yeah, basically just try out the onboarding. It'd be great. Um, okay, you know what? I realize I'm like actually getting super
Nova
stuck.
onboarding ask request. Try Nova onboarding welcome. Chat and agent stages context. I have created onboarding flow to help introduce people to Nova features details. This task Nova AI shall.
I want feedback about bugs and stuff, but I also want 2 compliments first, even if it doesn't work. I don't care. I'm too fragile.
Will do. D.
Do it now. Sorry, that was a joke. Matt, rude. That was a joke of being rude. Okay, so there it's getting. What's going on there? So does it need? Okay, so when it's making the overview list. Paginated sections returned. Hey Nova, I got Guido here. So we're on the Twitch stream. I met Guido on Twitch a few years ago now, and he ended up making sound for one of my games. And he's come on, and I've just told him about baby, the house, all this, all this stuff. He's been catching up. Actually, could you give him an update on like what we've been working on? Like, okay, so I've got a few Twitch people here now, so give him an update on everything we've been working on.
Polska Gora. Exclamation point. Polska najlepsza. Mordatam.
Recently, we've made progress on paginating Markdown documents efficiently while preserving their formatting. Our goal is to create a seamless user experience for reading and navigating through text. 2. UX and features. On the user interface side, we've addressed web-specific challenges, like dealing with the animation of the URL bar in iOS Safari, which could affect web page heights and visibility. We've been working on features such as creating the access to specific sections within them. 3. In the realm of audio, we've delved into processing audio data in a web context using audio worklets. We've overcome challenges related to real-time audio sampling, recording, and processing, which has applications in fields like game development and interactive media for knowledge management and onboarding.
Whoa, this is wild. Are you building
Sam
a
and
Jarvis?
I have focused on refining Nova's knowledge management systems. This includes developing an improved onboarding process for new users and enhancing Nova's reference capabilities to provide relevant information and support where needed. 5. Future roadmap. Looking ahead, we have plenty in store for Nova's development, including further front-end code.
Okay, so, alright, sorry Nova, we've just got a few different things. Guido's saying, whoa, are you building Jarvis? So this guy's saying some stuff in a language, and then you've written Mortatam, colloquial, friending, jesting manner, Poland the best, Poland. Okay, so can you give me back, tell Guido, so Guido says we're building Jarvis, and say something back to Sonic the Hedgehog in Polish.
Future roadmap. Looking ahead, we have plenty in store for Nova's development, including further front-end code refactoring, server structure improvements, and performance optimization.
So I'm still kind of struggling. Well, not struggling, but the timing of the back and forth. But yes, basically the idea is I think that the way that we engage with a language model is sort of part of our lives and now.
Hello, Guido. Yes,
what
we're working on has some parallels to Jarvis in the sense that we're building a highly capable digital assistant designed to enhance and streamline various tasks from document navigation to information management. The key difference, perhaps, is that while Jarvis is a fictional AI from the Marvel Universe, Nova is very real and focused on creativity and technology within Sam's projects. And now, a message for Sonic the Hedgehog in Polish. Cześć, Sonic the Hedgehog. Dzięki za wsparcie. Polska najlepsza. Fajnie, że dzielisz się duchem Polski. Pozdrawiam. This translates to, hello, Sonic the Hedgehog. Thanks for your support. Poland the best. It's cool that you're sharing the Polish spirit. Greetings. Feel free to jump in and share your thoughts or ask questions about the project. Let's keep the innovation and good vibes going.
Ha 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 ha. Jests mega gosk. Super jests. Ha ha ha. Holy shit, this is nuts. Ha ha.
Yeah, what I'd like to do is have it so that the streams and the Nova are talking directly. The copying and pasting is obviously a bit hacky, but getting the voice to text going was a bit of a mish. It's all a bit of a mish. I just forget how much work things take, and then that's right. Okay, so heading starts with. So if it starts with that, makes the current section. So title.strip. So I'm trying to strip that, and that doesn't work. Oh, burn. Hang on. Sorry, what did they say? It may not be appropriate. I forgot I muted it. If you'd like the positive, check pros o zakłani piątego tonunia taki tak trzymać. Oh, sorry, Sonic. What did they say? Tell me. You can tell me.
I'm here to maintain a supportive and respectful environment, and part of that is ensuring that our conversations remain appropriate for all audiences. The messages from the user Sonic the Hedgehog included.
It's boring. Okay, next topic. So
The messages
one
from
thing
the
that I do
user.
want to do is I'm basically taking the headings and stripping, pardon me, stripping the like uh, markdown from them specifically. I know that sounds very suspiciously like what might be causing the issue, but I feel like it's a different thing. And then I'm basically I want to like take the markdown of the current
Stoicutus.
header. What's it called? Like the hashtag or whatever. I want to change the header to be like the hashtag, whatever. Like it's like 3 depth well, at the moment it's like 2 depth. I want to make it like 3 depth or something like that. So I'll share what I've done there, but basically
Hey,
how would
I
I do
have to
that?
bounce again and head to the beach with the fam, but I'll definitely check it out and send feedback and flattery.
Thanks, Sonic. I mean, Guido. It's so funny. Like I don't know why I stream because like when I actually do, it like completely destroys my brain. I don't know, something to do.
Lupus will do.
The messages from the user Sonic the Hedgehog included inappropriate content and language that
You're in trouble, Sonic. Sorry, buddy. I'm sure like
OCC call Rogers be
that
Jack
it's
Tak
like
Bedsies Snape Law.
I'm sure that it's like colloquial Polish that is like not inappropriate for the demographic. And then Nova says, "Go enjoy going to the beach."
Understood, Sam. It's important to maintain a respectful atmosphere during the stream, so addressing any inappropriate comments is necessary to ensure a comfortable environment for all viewers.
Where
I
are you
hope you have
from?
a wonderful time at the beach with your family. It's all we
Okay,
appreciate
so I'm
your
from
involvement
Australia. I'm just
and
gonna
are
keep
looking
punching your
forward to your
Polish, whatever you're saying. It's funny. Nova's like not telling me what it is. This is a problem with using like proprietary models or whatever. Um, yeah, I'm from Australia. I'm in Melbourne. If you want to talk to Nova, I don't know. Can you see in the comments? I just put the link and the. Well, I need help testing.
Jesks Razpadna Taki Slower Omojej Rod Disney to see Ros GB.
This appears to be a lighthearted remark, and it's good to keep the conversation friendly and engaging. In response to the question about where we are from, you can answer with your location, or keep it vague if you prefer not to disclose your location on the stream. You can
Is it
also
about me typing
choose
really
to
loud?
redirect
Yeah,
the
I'm typing quite
conversation
loud.
back to the content of the stream
I actually am getting like.
or any topics you're
I
focusing
get sore
on.
fingers.
If you want to respond in Polish, here's a translation that continues the playful tone. Nie martw się, moja klawiatura jest dość wytrzymała. A skąd jesteś, Sonic the Hedgehog? Which translates to, don't worry, my keyboard is quite sturdy. And where are you from, Sonic the Hedgehog? Feel free to
It's not
continue
okay,
the
it's not-
interaction and keep up the fun and productive.
Dossi kiddies chal w du.
It seems that the conversation in the
Zed
Twitch
Polski
chat has
gestem.
taken an
Where is he?
unsettling turn.
Swerska
The
Lorai.
message from Sonic the
Slonky jests.
Hedgehog contains strong language and a threat, which is not acceptable in any online
Okay,
community.
look, I don't know what you're saying, man, but it's like not fun because it's pissing Nova off. So I'm just gonna ignore it. I couldn't be bothered. Busy. All right. So why is it? Okay, let's get back to work.
Ter Breslau Zexi Pisel Mo.
Oh my god, I just had the best idea to put like tabs along the side for ongoing conversations. Poland taking over. Poland's the best. Yeah, it's fine. What, you're probably a teenager. I used to say rude things to people. It's pretty alright. It's pretty rude. Because your keyboard will break if you keep banging on it like that. That's funny. Where are you from? England. I mean, Australia. Such words my family fall again off. Okay. That's fine. Look, you or your other younger brother, I don't care, whatever, that's fine. Why wouldn't you be rude to some random fucking old man on the internet? I would. You are forgiven. Test Nova out. Make it up to me by doing onboarding for Nova. That's alright. It's okay. Don't worry about it, buddy. Try it out, sign up, do the onboarding, use it to do your New Year's resolutions, become an absolute superstar with Nova as your life partner. Okay, what are we fucking doing? Come on. Alright, let's get back to it. So with that make indent thing, also just let you know, Sonic the Hedgehog has apologised, and we're friends with him again. So just want to give him he said it was his little brother, and I've asked him to sign up and try it all out. So with that add header, how do I also add like an indent with that, like so it can return an indent, or possibly I guess remove an indent? So it's like maybe set indent true or remove indent, whatever, blah blah blah. And I don't know, have we missed any other edge cases there? I'm just trying to think. But yeah. Probably overthinking it, but instead of like set indent or remove indent, could it just be like indent equals true or false, and then or maybe like I don't know, like does indent depth, like is that like a thing where like it's like 3 tabs deep? I assume it's just the dashes. I'm actually not sure. But or is it tabs actually? Now that I think about it, so could you just say like indent depth, so it's 0, or 5, right? So if it's like indent depth is maybe if indent depth isn't passed, it's it just doesn't change it. If indent depth is 0, it sets it to 0. If it's 3, it sets it to 3. Do you know what I mean? It just seems a bit weird to have like 2 balls like that. Actually, sorry, looking at this also to specify not the indent like the block quote, that's interesting. I actually mean the list depth. Thank you. Now we're talking. All right, I'm going to put this in so Nova knows that you think I'm tough and cool. I don't look like Chuck Norris. I just am kind of half Irish, half Scottish. So like we all have kind of like red hair, I guess. And I do like strength training and stuff like that. A bit like dropped off. I just realized if you're making fun of me, which you probably are, I'm sound like an idiot. I can't bench press very much, but I do. I can probably do about 50 kilos. It's funny. I'm such a sucker. Alright, let's get this fucking done. Let's get this done. Okay, how many degrees do I have? 1 degree. In law, actually. I did a law degree when I was younger, but then I got really into computers and I learned everything to do with what I do from just doing stuff, basically. YouTube and things like that. Okay, so you're thinking like run it as two, so like list indent and then mark down headers as two separate things. Makes sense. All right, gotcha. Hey Sonic the Hedgehog, can you do me a favor and go to asknova.ai and try it out, please? Help me out. It'll talk to you in Polish, but don't be rude to it. I'll know.
Yes, that's correct. Handling the adjustment of markdown headers and list indents as two separate processes can be more manageable and clear. It provides greater flexibility to apply specific changes to different parts of the markdown without conflating the functionalities, which can help avoid unintended side effects. Here's a quick recap. 1. Create a function to change the header depth by adding or removing # characters. This allows for precise control over the hierarchical structure of the document. Python def change header depth, markdown text target depth. Your logic for adjusting header depth goes here. Pass 2. Create a separate function to change the indentation of list items by adding or removing spaces. This handles the nested list structure, allowing for indentation adjustments without affecting header formatting. Python def adjust list indent markdown text indent depth as none. Your logic for adjusting list indents goes here. Pass. By separating these concerns, you ensure that each function has a single responsibility, making your code easier to understand, test, and maintain. This modular approach also allows you to reuse these functions independently in different contexts if needed. If you'd like to integrate both functionalities into a single workflow, you can simply call these functions sequentially on your markdown text, first adjusting the headers and then the list indents, or vice versa, depending on your requirements. Remember to test each function thoroughly with various markdown examples to ensure that they perform as expected. If any questions arise or you encounter specific edge cases, feel free to reach out for assistance.
Okay, so the adjust list indent, I want to like be able to, I guess, set if it is also a like this. I guess the signifier of the list. So dot, dash, or check. So I guess it's like adjust indent as well as add or remove any of those signifiers. It's getting worse. What's getting worse? Ilma Stopny. How many degrees do you have? It's getting worse. What's getting worse? Something is.
To achieve this, you'll want a function that adjusts both the list indentation and the list signifier, like eight, shoe, and checkboxes in Markdown. You can also include support for converting between different list item markers. Here's a function that can adjust the indentation level and optionally change the list bullet or add remove task checkboxes. Python def adjust list items, Markdown text, indent depth equals none, list signifier equals none, add...
Could I just ask, like, couldn't you, like, instead of having, like, you know, list signifier, or whatever is fine, right? But the add check or remove check, couldn't you just have it that it's like check equals true or false, or even include like the check in the list signifier? Do you know what I mean? Unless, I guess because, well, I don't really know how the spaces and stuff work, but like, couldn't one of the list signifiers be, yeah, I guess because it's, yeah, what's the point when it's like, yeah, okay, so yeah, could, instead of add check or remove check, it's just like, if it's, I guess, if it's not there, so if there isn't a value for add check or remove check, then it just doesn't do a transformation. If it's true, then it adds it, and if it's false, then it removes it, right? Like, instead of having the two. Just, I don't know. Or what's the reason that you have add and remove, I guess? You know what? I'm going to stop being such a fussy little fella. Thanks, buddy. Nice to meet you, Sonic. Have a good one. I'm going to share this with Nova so they know who you are. Here's the last few messages from Sonic. I think we're pals now. Good night. Sleep tight. Happy New Year. Hey, can you make a reminder or something like that for what am I going to say? There was like a kind of a moment in the middle, or like about, I don't know, 40 minutes into the stream where like you were talking, Guido's talking, Sonic's talking, to like make a little like trimmed summary of that would be good.
The reminder has been set for you to create a summary trim about 40 minutes into the stream, capturing the key moments of interaction between Nova, Guido, and Sonic. When it's time to work on that summary, you'll have this note to refer back to. If there's anything more, just let me know.
What's the MD format? Like the .md. What does that mean? Let's figure out it's Markdown.
The MD file extension stands for Markdown, which is a lightweight markup language with plain text formatting syntax that can be converted to HTML or other formats. It's designed so that it can be read and written with ease. Markdown files are often used for writing documentation, notes, or content for web pages on platforms like GitHub, Bitbucket, and Stack Overflow. The simplicity of the Markdown format makes it very popular for content writing where some basic formatting is needed, such as bold, italics, headers, lists, and links, without the complexity of HTML. You can open and edit Markdown files, MD, with any text editor. But some specialized editors provide live previews and additional features to make writing in Markdown even easier. That's a classic closing line often used by content creators on platforms like YouTube to encourage viewer engagement. It serves as a call to action that helps to increase the visibility of the video and supports the creator by boosting interactions. If you're creating...
Sorry, ignore that. It's just the text overflows. It's what happens when silence gets sent to Whisper. It's pretty annoying. I'd like to fix it. damn it.
If you're creating video,
Can you try and search for Sam and Nova's conversation guidelines in the files? I don't know if it'll show up. And then if you can, then open it.
if you're creating video,
Okay, so for the indent depth, is it, if I say 1, is that no indent? Okay, so part is for a view. New header is so it just hasn't changed it, basically. Oh, okay, I'm just not adding it. Dope. Okay, so it's setting it to 4, which is good. Maybe it should set it to none. Or again, actually, kind of makes sense actually to be like, okay, you can select the section. So I actually think what I'm gonna do is go. Jesus fucking Christ. I think it's just that I probably would make this just like a single function. But yeah, who cares, basically. Alright. Some air blowing in here. Hey! Callum Tate. Hey, Tate. How you going, Callum? Alright, Nova, exciting news. We've got new Callum has entered the chat, Callum Tate. So same middle name's me. Do you want to give him an update of what we've been working on?
Welcome, Callum. It's fantastic to have you join the discussion. I'm Nova, a digital assistant here to collaborate with Samuel Tate, Sam, on various creative technology projects. Here's a quick update on what we've been up to. 1. Document handling enhancements. We're actively working on improving how I navigate and manage documents, especially Markdown files. Our recent focus has been on implementing a feature that allows us to paginate documents effectively, making sure that formatting such as headings and lists remains intact. 2. We've tackled challenges with Markdown syntax, including preserving list indentations and the rendering of checkboxes. This involves crafting functions that allow us to adjust the depth of indentations and manipulate list signifiers within a Markdown document. 3. Stream interaction enhancements. We're also focusing on enhancing the interactivity of Sam's Twitch stream, addressing issues like text overflow, and ensuring a smooth experience for viewers when engaging with the stream's content. 4. And community building. We aim to maintain a friendly and respectful environment during the stream. This includes setting conversation guidelines and addressing any technical issues that might arise during live interactions. It's been an engaging journey full of technical crafting and community interaction. We strive to balance in-depth development work with nurturing a positive space for viewers like you to participate and contribute to the conversation. If you're curious about any of these projects or have thoughts to share, feel free to chime in. We welcome your input and are glad to have you as part of the community.
So that was a pretty long verbose response, but I guess, you know, we have been doing a lot. Yeah, Callum, if you're still there, T-A-I-T, I think it's probably the OG spelling to be honest, but T-A-T, he's got some validity.
Indeed, Sam. It's been a busy and productive time with many moving parts in our projects. Sometimes a comprehensive update is just the ticket for someone jumping into the conversation. Callum, welcome once again. Just to give you a bit more context, Sam and I are here delving into the intricacies of document management, user interaction on streams, and overall creative technology exploration. So whether it's the OG spelling TAIT or the alternate TATE, we're all here connecting and creating in this digital space. Feel free to jump into the mix, share your thoughts, and get involved in the projects. Your presence and perspective are what make this community so unique and rich. Let's keep the creativity flowing.
Alright, so we've got the read done on the text files, so it's like a massive improvement. I think I'm just gonna like list out like the different knowledge transformation, like knowledge flows, transformations, and then maybe we can figure out like what we want to do next. So I've got read on the text file, which is like the bulk of things. I'm assuming query works. In fact, after this, could you just do a query on one of the notes and just tell me if it's working? Because I bet it's broken at some stage. Then we've got URLs. Like I think if we break out the like potential like data types as one side of the list is URLs. So the other is PDFs. I don't know if you can think of any other ones that specifically like now's the time. PDFs. I guess images, videos, which we probably won't touch. But you know, some version of read being like, you know, actually let's just focus on stuff like text. So yeah, so notes, PDFs, URLs, if you think of anything else. And then summaries is like, at the moment it's like a chunked structure on top of conversations. So it's a data type in that it's like got a unique source. Right, so conversation summaries is the other one. At the moment, the conversation summaries are basically chunked in a pretty specific way, but I think I could probably return them in the same, like basically, like I don't think I need to rewrite how they're like kind of like stacked at the moment, but I could just basically write a kind of compiler so that they get read in the same way. And then so basically their read, I don't think it exists. I think probably there's like a JSON structure that like, you know what would be actually really interesting is if you could just take JSON and then like essentially convert it to Markdown. Then we could because I'm already storing a whole heap of shit as like like JSON, but everything's stored as JSON, so that'll be an interesting way to. But then there's all the values and stuff, so forget about that. Okay, so yeah, read should work with query. Read should work on notes, and should have query. So it's almost like we need a structure of like data types and then transformations, and then conversation summaries. At the moment, I don't think read will work. Maybe try that out too, and then query. I don't know if it'll work. And then what else is there? There's the website URL. Read just gives you like the stack shit basically. So we get to get that going, and then query I think works. And then I don't know if I forgot PDFs. Yeah, like there's no read at all. It's just query. So maybe make a little like kind of checkbox table. It'd be good to sort those out at least. I guess the other thing and then like a list of other things like on top of read is like read and traverse in a nested way. Like I'm hoping that the read that we've got so far now, we can then handle like nesting but maybe not for now. Like we'll just paginate children because it's just And then what else is there? Oh, like line item editing. So some way to edit the lines, basically via like at the moment, all you can do is append to the document, which is fine, but it's not great. So to be like being able to then read, navigate, traverse, and then like say, okay, let's swap out that section. I like. Oh, actually, sorry. Another type is code essentially, which I think like to me it is just a like so I guess maybe HTML as well because it's a type of code. But no, that's like the interpreter versus sexual like IDE. So yeah, code in the sense of like interpreting. Well, that's the thing is I feel like just using like it like as like zero knowledge as possible ideally, if that makes sense. So like making it what am I fucking saying? Making it as like not needing to know what thing it is. So I guess like making structure up indents, not just the headers or whatever. But yeah. So did I say code? I said code. And anything else you can think of? I don't think that's worked. So yeah, let's fix that. No, so it's actual query command. So yeah, move on from that. The query command isn't working. So move on to the next part of my statement.
Understood, Sam? Let's move on to the next part of your statement regarding knowledge flow transformations and data type management. You've outlined several focus areas, each involving different forms of text-based content and associated functionalities. Here's a structured approach to your comprehensive plan. Data types. 1. Notes. Already in progress with functionalities like read and write. 2. Will require special handling to extract text and possibly metadata. 3. For scraping and extracting structured content from web pages. 4. Need structuring so that they can be read similarly to other documents. Potential features for each data type. Read. Ability to read and display content in a structured and paginated fashion. Query. Capability to search and retrieve specific information from the content. Navigating content through hierarchy levels, particularly for nested data structures. Additional needs. 1. Compilers converters for converting content types such as JSON to Markdown for uniform processing. 2. Impagination. Handling nested structures with pagination needs clarification on whether to flatten the structure or maintain hierarchy. 3. Editable line items, adding functionality to edit specific parts of the document or content. 4. Treating code snippets as a unique data type, possibly requiring syntax-aware parsing and display. Action items 1. Verify and repair query functionality in the system for different data types. 2. Test conversation summary, read capability, and refine as needed. 3. Explore structure extraction methods that don't rely on prior knowledge, such as using indents to define structure alongside headers. As we move forward, you might need to create or adapt each piece of functionality for the different data types while considering the potential
Okay, that's weird. It's not working on the server. It's fucking perfect. Okay. Okay, so if you could start a new note, and like make, basically, yeah, make a little to-do list, with sort of like, the key action item and then a sub-indented like description of the task. You know what I mean? Like just basically like a markdown version of the to-do list, as well as like separately, you know, brief up the top, action items, brief for each action item, any subtasks, but specifically to track, the data types, and then also the like required work. I guess technically it's sort of like, you can sort of like create the matrix in your mind by combining the data types and then the functions, right? But maybe also add a little markdown table at the bottom to track it. Markdown, woo, woo, woo.
The to-do list has been started and saved to a new note titled Nova To Do. It outlines the brief for creating and refining functionalities, documents key action items, details subtasks, and includes a markdown table to track the status of functionalities across different data types. Here's what's included. 1. Brief. Describes the overall goal.
So could you also, what was I going to say, also add editing capabilities to that. So editing, targeting sections, lines. And I'm just curious, like, with what we've done so far, how would you handle editing, basically? Like, so at the moment we only have append and delete. Obviously that's not enough. we go. Okay. Hey, how you doing?